So in the last video, I mentioned theme options. And what I'm going to do is take a look at two of these sites. This is a ranch site, and this is the cabin site. And these are both using the same options. You'll notice here different themes, but the option structure is the same. This one over here is using a slightly different one, and I'm going to update some of this so that we can end up using the same infrastructure across all three of them. But I want to walk you through some samples of how this works out. So when you take a look at this, you're going to notice some things on this site. For example, the Take a Tour. And when we click on Take a Tour, it takes us to a site that has images running through it, right? Now, when we come over to the Pollard Pines Cabin site and we come to the photos, you'll notice it does a slightly different variation of it, looking at galleries, and then when I click on a gallery, the same kind of thing happens. But there's a difference between these two. Here, I clicked on a page, right? And we've already talked about how to edit pages, and it's another video to talk about the image galleries and how to use those. But here, I didn't click on the page. Now, I could have, right? I could have clicked on Photo Tour, and that would have taken me there. But I did something different, right? I clicked on Take a Tour, and that is using something specific about the theme. You'll notice here, the Contact Us, it takes us to, a page, but it's colored differently. So these things that are nuances of each different site are nuances because here you'll see on this one, notice when I come to the home page that on the home page, these pages are sliding across. Take a look. If we just wait for a second, you'll see how they just one after another, they just change, right? And in fact, I can manually make them happen by clicking on this little icon here and then clicking back there, right? Though it doesn't look like these guys are moving. Oh, there it goes. Those are all different parts of the specifics on a theme, and we manage that by clicking on the title and going to the theme options. So when we look at general settings, you'll notice that there's a style sheet, a custom logo that we can upload, and we'll talk about uploading in another video. Tracking code, which we'll talk about in another video, which is Google Analytics. And that's all the generics, right? So if you want to change the logo or the color palette, you'd manipulate that. What does that look like? Well, here we have yellow and green. If I wanted to, I could go into the general settings, and instead of creamy, right, I could say, oh, this guy is a Cowboys fan, so let's go to blue and gray, and I'm going to hit Save Changes, and as quickly as that, when I come back over, this one's saving, when I come back over and hit Home, you will notice that it is now blue and gray, right? Now, not exactly the best approach for, a cabin and a vacation retreat, but it's possible, right? And so you can change the look and feel, or at least the look and the color palette in the general settings. But you also have control over the navigation settings. And we talked about this in an earlier video, excluding specific pages from the navigation. In each home page, you have different nuances. On this home page, these things here, which have a title and an excerpt and an image, these are all very specific pages that we're saying the slider should use, right? And notice that it asks, should the pages that are being used as the sliders also be used in the navigation? Which we don't want. That'd be kind of silly. So it's not checked. And do we want to automate the slider, right? And that's why those buttons didn't work now, because I clicked on this saying, yeah, just you do it instead of letting me control it. Notice also there's an option for, introduction page, which is this text down here, right? And so if you wanted to put a different page there, you'd put a different page ID. We also have the ability to have it automatically resize images. We have the ability to turn on and off a blog, which you'll notice here, it's not on. And if we come over here, because we do have a blog, you'll notice here it is checked. And that's why over here we have the blog. So these are the different settings, and there's a lot in here over time you'll learn, including ads. And so you can pick specific images and locations for the ads. But these are all what we find in the options of the theme. Thanks a lot.